And this is a case of where they saved the best for last. And it's really kind of ironic and surprising to me, because the figure that I'm about to look at is of a character that I really wasn't that enamored with in G1. Like, as a kid, I was never an enormous fan of the Dinobot Snarl. And this is the Power of the Primes version. But I have to say, of all the Dinobots, I think this guy is the best. I think he worked out fantastic in every mode. And even in terms of custom paint apps, outside of making his eyes blue, there was really nothing I had to add to him. I really think that he's a standout, and it's probably kind of fitting that he was the last of this group to be released. Stick around, because we're going to look at everything to do with this fantastic Stegosaurus in the latest GotBot True review. Hey guys, I'm your host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. Please, like, comment, share, and of course, subscribe, man. You know, why not? Why not? Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, and me everywhere. And this is Snarl, the last of the Dinobots. And I think the best of the Dinobots. I love his Stegosaurus mode. I love his robot mode. He has excellent articulation, fantastic paint apps. There's nothing here not to like. Anyway, enough of me going on and on about this guy. Let's head over to the table right away and take a closer look at him. And now we come to what I have mentioned as the absolute best of the Dinobots, at least in my opinion. I feel like Snarl worked out splendidly. Now, some folks might say, hey, because I'm not a fan of the Dinobots combining, I'm kind of being harsh on them in that regard. But let me put that to rest. It might not be for me. However, I have to admit that Snarl works fantastic as a dinosaur, fantastic as a leg, an arm, and of course as a robot. I think he's great all ways around, and I really feel like they kind of saved the best for last when it comes to this guy. And the funny part is, I was never a huge Snarl fan. Like, he was alright, but I was never a huge Snarl fan. But I am of this guy. We're going to begin, as we always do, by taking a quick look here at the box first. Again, we have a box. It's nothing special. We have nice artwork of Snarl up here, who's, I don't know, breathing fire, light, whatever. On the back, we have the product shot like we always do in the little one-line bio. Man, those bios have really kind of gone downhill over the years. I remember when we used to get a whole paragraph for those things. Of course, we see the product shot. I dig them. What can I say? I dig them. We have that exact same hand as we've seen all along for his prime armor. And again, this clear piece that he could use as a blaster, I guess. It can go, I'm not even sure which way it goes in. This way? Maybe this way. Yeah, that way. Whatever. It can go in there. Of course, you know that this one is specifically Snarl's because for some weird reason, his peg isn't black. It's like that gold color. He's the only one like that. I don't know why, but anyway, we've seen this before. It's the exact same molding. Again, instructions that I'm never going to open because I'll never get them closed again, but hey, I have them. And our very favorite thing, the ever popular collector card, of course. And this is Prima Snarl. And it says that he relentlessly fights to protect Cybertron. They're not even trying with these anymore. They're not. It's like if they said, Optimus Prime's power was that he can turn into a truck and roll down the road. Or Starscream's power was that, he can annoy people. It's just, I don't know. Whatever. And if you can even see this, he comes with a clear sword. Why this wasn't painted red like Swoop's, I don't know. The only thing I can figure is that on the cartoon, in the animation, his sword was a grayish color. I don't know if it's supposed to be mimicking that. It's a fine sculpt, it's a fine sword. You may lose it because if you drop it, it's clear. It's not the easiest thing to find, until you stand on it inadvertently. And, That's not going to be good. So I take care with this thing, I guess. And here we have Snarl, and he looks great. The last Snarl that I had is the one that I did a custom paint job on from the Age of Extinction line. If you're wondering, hey, have these gotten smaller even since 2014? No, not really. I mean, they're about the same size. As a matter of fact, I think the AOE one might be a little bit shorter. I looked at this Snarl versus his, you know, stock released green look, the regular look. I looked at him way back in episode 69 a long time ago when I looked at all of the Age of Extinction Dinobots. By the way, kind of a black version of this Snarl was released, I think, as an exclusive during the last Nightline as well. And you know what? This isn't a bad Snarl either. It served my purposes as a representation of the Dinobot for a while, but it wasn't quite what I wanted. Taking him out of it. Of course, more accurately, we can compare this guy with someone such as Power of the Prime's Ripper Snapper. He's a bit bigger than Ripper Snapper, actually. He's a little bulky. I really dig this Snarl for a lot of reasons. I looked at Ripper Snapper very recently in episode 395 and the custom work that I did on him. And of course, we can take him out of it. And now we can see all of the Dinobots together. And of course, here's the family shot. I think it looks great. Slash fits in very nicely down front. I've done custom paint work on all these guys, including Snarl, but I had to do very, very little on him. I looked at Slash in episode 338. I looked at my custom Slug in episode 343. My custom Swoop in episode 344. Grimlock in episode 345, and I just very recently took a look at Sludge, actually the video before this one, at 398. Oddly, I feel like that Sludge is a little bit smaller than Snarl, like just a little bit. I don't know. They look good. If anyone is out of place, it's definitely Sludge, but I dig it. These are G1 Dinobots. With the custom paint apps, I feel like they really kind of look like, in a lot of ways, like they came off the screen. I totally dig that. We will actually end up seeing all of them again together in a group shot in their robot mode and in their dinosaur mode when we take a look at Volcanicus. For now, let's get right into this guy because I feel like I've done a lot of gushing so far because I like how this has turned out for the most part. I've heard that there's going to be a KO oversized version of these guys from Black Mamba. I don't know if that's, you know, fact or confirmed or if it's just rumor. So if you want bigger versions, hey, you can go for it. But I dig this. This works for me. In terms of paint apps, I painted his eyes blue. And his eyes are really small, so it was hard to do. I thought about painting the gold here on his forearm into a silver, but I didn't because in dinosaur mode, that section of the hind leg is actually gold, so I left it. It's a 9.75. It is undoubtedly Snarl. It's at least a 9.75. I don't see any of the stickers on this guy. Everything seems like a nice tempo. So strong start there. What about his articulation? Like I said earlier, excellent leg, excellent arm, great dinosaur. Maybe not the most articulated, but what dinosaur is. In terms of robot mode, we have a head that can go left, it can go right. Because of the flappets on here, it can look up, down a little bit. We have arms that can go up and back. Even the shoulder can move. That's because of transformation, but it moves. We can't go all the way around because of these tail sections, but I think that that's acceptable anyway. The arms can go well out to the side. We get 90 degrees at the elbow. We get a bicep swivel. Because this is sort of on, because of the joint that the shoulder's on, we even get like a little bit of a butterfly, which is cool. We get a waist swivel. We get leg all the way forward, all the way back, thigh swivel, knee to 90 degrees on this guy instead of less than 90 degrees. Now, it's weird, when you have his legs sort of straight, his feet aren't exactly flat. You really have to sort of bend the knees back a little bit to get his legs, his feet flat. But once they're flat, he stands like an absolute champion. Honestly, I'm going to say his articulation, because of how good it is, and his wrists, I mean, they can bend in and out, I suppose. There's not much the guy can't do. He's pretty solid on his feet. I'm going to say it's a solid 8.5, maybe even a 9. But let's split the difference. Let's say 8.75. So we had 9.75, we had an 8.75. The guy's easily like a 9.25. It's a great figure, by the way. Though I don't think you should do this. You can put the prime armor in on the front because there's a little 5mm slot there on the front. His sword, that fits no problem in his hand. If you don't want any of this on his hand or his chest, the sword can fit on his shoulder up here as well. This can come off and it can fit on the other shoulder if you are so inclined. So you have the option of doing that. I'm going to take the sword off of there for now and lay it to the side. We'll go to arm mode, then leg mode, then dinosaur mode, I guess. So let's get started. Really, you want to bring up these two little gold plates on the back. You want to bring back what's really his tail section, but it's up on his shoulders. And if you want, you can even close that up. We come around to the front and we push the head back through, and we bring the combiner peg out. If you want, I mean, you can leave, for the arm section, you can leave this open. Flip the head all the way down. You can leave this open like this for the arm section if you want. That's really up to you. Take the robot arms, bend the elbows to 90 degrees, bring in the fists here, and now we're going to turn these at the bicep. There's a little red tab down here. It goes into a slot on the gold part on his arm. So we turn that around, and we put that on, that around, and we put that on. We bring the legs together, of course, as we always do with these guys. Oh, actually, before we bring the legs together, this guy is slightly different. Is it on this leg? No, it must be on this one. We need to open this section up on the back of the leg, flip this piece down, then close it back up. Because flipping this piece down is what allows you to attach the foot or the hand. When you close this back up, by the way, you have a little gray tab here. It goes into a little slot in the gold plastic there. And then we bring the legs together, as well as the head pieces. Have all of that together. Tab those head pieces together. Bring that down like that. Turn him at the waist. Oh, and I didn't quite have the head tab together. And there he is as an arm. He bends pretty well. Like, it's a good arm. It really is a good arm. We can take the hand and put that in there. It's a good arm. I think it looks pretty good. Again, what you do up here is up to you. If you want, you can bring it out and close that up. It might limit his shoulder articulation a bit that way, because with it open, you really have the option of the combiner peg, doing this so that the arm can go in and out all the way. I dig it. So taking this out, we're going to put him into his leg mode next, which again isn't so difficult from here. we bring up the combiner peg and we close the tail up. Some people leave it open, but I suggest you close the tail up because where it's going to be on the knee, if it's open, I think the leg would be too wide. So bring that up. Turn the waist around there and split it. Open this gold section out and open this gold section out. And we'll even take his arms off here for now, just to make life easy on us. And once you have those opened out, you flip this up around. Same over here. You flip this up around and get it past. Peg the legs back together. Close in this gold section on the back. By the way, put that back down. I thought that we used the same one. We don't. We have another one down here. So the thing that his hand would go into, put that back down, close it up, and close this one over. I find you kind of have to close these at the same time. Take the head and tab it together. Bring the arms back down. Again, they go over that red peg there on the side. Exactly like they did for arm mode. And we would put a foot up right there. And boom, in the end we have a really cool leg that has a lot of spikes on it. I absolutely dig this. And the kind of kibble that's on the leg is very minimal, except for the big kneecap. But come on, like a spiked knee? That's just cool. I'm not into dinosaur combiners, but this guy's a great limb. I wish they'd all turned out this well. Maybe I'd be more into it. In terms of going to dinosaur mode, that's the only thing we got left, so we might as well do that now, right? We take the head, which is already combined and was on the, say, the back of the combined mode leg. We bring that up around to the front. We take these little gold front paws? I don't know what you call them. Dinosaur? I don't know. Dinosaur feet? Paws? Whatever. We bring those down. We come to the back here and we bring the combiner peg back down. The head, as it always was, is still folded up inside the body. We untab the arms from the side of the body. We bring them down. We turn them around so that the gold forearm is to the outside. We angle the shoulder up. It has a little hinge on the shoulder that angles it up. And that way you can sort of straighten the leg out so that both of these legs are, you know, really kind of in line with one another. Might have to do it quite like that. There, something like that. You come to the other side, you untab it, turn it, come to the shoulder, rotate it up, do the same thing. And last but not least, you take the tail section, you bring it all the way down. We have a couple of gray tabs back here. They go into this slot and this slot here. And boom, in the end, there you have Snarl in his Stegosaurus mode. And again, I painted the eyes blue. It's the only paint app I added here. I think it looks fantastic. Absolutely love it. Everything to do with the transformation, honestly, it's easy. I had no problems with any of it. I'm going to say it's easy 10 for fans, for collectors, for kids. He's fun. And that's what we want, you know, Transformers to be. We want them to be fun, man. That's what we're, you know, that's what they're here for. Overall, he was getting a 9.25. The transformation's a 10. He's easily a 9.75. It's a great figure. Always around. He's just fun. You can even take him in your hands and just kind of, you know, while you're sitting at work, at the office, you know, you're doing homework, whatever, you can just sort of fiddle with this guy back and forth, and he's fun. Plus, he looks great. He worked out really well. I absolutely dig this guy. My very favorite of the new Power of the Primes Dinobots. And by now you probably see what I mean. The guy is great. The conversions between all modes is pretty quick and easy. The look is accurate. Every way, shape, and form that you could think of, even when he's a leg. And I'm not into dinosaur and dinobot combiners, but even as a leg, come on. You want to talk about a leg pad full of spikes? His whole shin is like a melee weapon. It's fantastic. It's an excellent idea. If he's an arm, again, he has these plates that work as spikes on his forearm and on his shoulder. He's great. I absolutely dig him. I'm so glad to add him to the collection, and I'm so glad that he turned out as well as he did. Let me know what you think about this guy. Are you as kind of awestruck by him as I am or not? You know, I always like to hear what you guys think. Again, I'm going to say thanks for dropping by and giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. I'm going to say subscribe if you haven't already done so, please and thank you. And of course, last but not least, I very much look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit right here inside the videos.